The rain came down hard that morning, soaking through his worn jacket as he stood by the open hood of a broken-down luxury car he could never afford. His hands were numb, his stomach empty, and his daughter's lunchbox back home held only half a sandwich. Yet as the woman in high heels stood over him, arms crossed, he kept working, because quitting wasn't an option anymore. What he didn't know was that this very moment, this soaked roadside encounter, would change both their lives forever. The woman's voice sliced through the rain. "You call yourself a mechanic? You've been at it for 20 minutes. He didn't look up. "Ma'am, the issue's not the battery, it's the alternator. It'll take a bit." She rolled her eyes. "You're wasting my time. I could buy 5 of these cars while you still guess what's wrong with one." He wiped the oil from his hands. "Guessing doesn't fix things. Patience does." Her name was Clara Hartwell, CEO of Hartwell Automotive, one of the largest car companies in London. His name was Ethan Cole, a single dad, mechanic, and the kind of man the world easily overlooked. When he finally got her car running again, Clara turned back to him with a smirk. "Fix this engine, and I'll marry you," she joked earlier out of frustration, but now, as the car purred to life, the words echoed awkwardly between them. She didn't mean it. But for Ethan, that moment wasn't about her mockery, it was about quiet victory. He'd done what no one expected of him, fixed what was broken. She tossed a wad of cash at him. "Keep the change." He didn't take it. "I fix engines, not egos." And he walked away, leaving her staring after him, curious, maybe even guilty. Weeks passed. Ethan's life returned to its daily rhythm of early mornings and long nights at his small garage. His daughter Lily, 6 years old and full of light, often waited for him after school in the corner of the workshop, coloring pictures of cars she said she'd drive, when Daddy makes lots of money. But business was slow. Bills piled up. Some nights, he'd skip dinner so Lily could eat. Then, one Friday afternoon, everything changed. A black SUV pulled up outside his garage. Out stepped Clara Hartwell, this time, not in anger, but with something else in her eyes. "You again," he said, half smiling. "Car trouble already?" She hesitated. "Not exactly. I came because I need a mechanic who doesn't just fix cars, but believes in them." He frowned. "What's that supposed to mean?" She sighed. "We're launching a new car line. My team can't get the prototype engine to stabilize. They've given up. I thought, maybe you'd take a look." Ethan laughed. "You want me, the guy you mocked on the roadside, to fix your company's biggest failure?" Her jaw tightened. "I want someone who told me, guessing doesn't fix things. Patience does." He stared at her, torn between pride and desperation. His garage rent was due in 2 days. He needed the money, but working for her meant swallowing his pride. Finally, he nodded. "All right. I'll take a look." The company's headquarters was a world Ethan didn't belong in, polished floors, glass walls, and people who looked at his grease-stained hands like he was from another planet. But when he saw the engine, he felt something familiar, a challenge worth fighting for. Hours turned into days. Ethan worked late, sleeping in the workshop corner, his hands raw and tired. Clara often stopped by at midnight with coffee she'd pretend was for herself. One night, she found him asleep next to the engine, Lily's photo tucked beside his wrench. Something in her softened. She whispered, "You're doing this for her, aren't you?" He stirred. "Always." The next morning, he turned the key, and the engine roared to life. The entire team cheered. Clara stood frozen, eyes wide, her disbelief melting into awe. You actually did it." He smiled faintly. "Told you. Patience." But just when things seemed perfect, news spread through the company, Ethan's garage had been repossessed. Someone had bought the building from under him. His dream, his only source of income, gone overnight. When Clara found out, guilt hit her hard. She realized it had been one of her own executives, trying to eliminate the outsider from her project. She stormed into the boardroom, her voice shaking with fury. You destroyed a man's livelihood because he didn't wear a suit. That night, she drove straight to Ethan's small flat. He opened the door, tired but calm. What are you doing here? She held out an envelope. Inside was a new lease, his garage, restored, and a partnership contract. I don't want your pity, he said. It's not pity, she replied softly. It's respect. He hesitated, eyes softening. Why me, Clara? She smiled faintly. Because you fixed more than my engine. You fixed the part of me that forgot what hard work looks like. Weeks later, they stood together at the company's new launch event. Ethan's design improvements had saved the project, and his small-town garage had become a company partner. Reporters swarmed them, asking how a single dad mechanic ended up changing the future of Hartwell Automotive. Clara smiled at the cameras and said, because he believed in what everyone else thought was impossible. After the event, they stood alone near the new car, the night calm and full of city lights. Clara looked at him playfully. You remember what I said that day in the rain? He chuckled. You mean when you mocked me? Her eyes softened. Maybe it wasn't just a joke. He blinked. You're serious? She stepped closer, voice quiet. Fix this engine, and I'll marry you. You fixed more than the engine, Ethan. He looked at her, the woman who once threw money at him now offering something far more real. Engines I understand, he said softly. Hearts, still learning. She smiled. Then we'll learn together. As the city lights glowed behind them, Lily ran up and wrapped her arms around both of them, laughing. Clara knelt to meet her eyes. What do you think, Lily? Should I marry your dad? Lily giggled. Only if he lets you help in the garage. And for the first time in years, Ethan laughed freely, the kind of laugh that said he wasn't just fixing cars anymore. He was finally fixing his life. By the end of it all, he'd learned that sometimes, the most broken engines, and the most guarded hearts, just need someone patient enough to believe they can run again.